Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Messe Munich for yet another performance days. I think we're on year 17. That means we're almost 35 editions old. I'm Charles. I'll be talking too much. I'm meant to moderate the stage. Apparently I've got a proper job which is on the board. This is now the biggest ingredient sourcing fair for the sports and outdoor market. We know we're specialized. I am concerned that we now might have the biggest gathering of outdoor and sports people until December. And we're not that big and we're not that popular, but it's going to get busy. There will be a succession of people speaking on stage. There will be some forums, there will be some panels, and there will be some presentations. There's a list up at the back of who they are and what they're speaking about. But if you've never been to performance days before, welcome. Thank you for coming. This is potentially the last thing on your list to visit. The single most interesting attraction is called the Trend Forum, which is next door. And it's just behind what we call the media lounge, where there's free coffee and waffles. The Trend Forum, we sat down about 2 months ago, and we went through 2,500 samples of fabric to see which ones were interesting. And we've selected the top 200 of them that are laid out on tables in various categories like 3-layer, insulation, base layer, safety, fast fashion, and the such like. So make sure you see the Trend Forum. The reason why I'm not pushing the expert talks is because everything on this stage is recorded. So when you go back to the office, you can sit there wearing your headphones and you don't have to talk to your neighbors within the office. There are also workshops going on. The workshops are not recorded. If you look behind you, behind the big C4 red thing, underneath that is the Italian bar. Be there from 6 o'clock tonight. It's where the party starts. There is free beer, gin and tonic. Go slightly further down, you're into the workshop area. The workshops are not recorded. Fairwear and also the people who work in Brussels, who are the lobbyists, which is Ohana Public Affairs, they're retained by people who are a bit bigger than us. The Textile Exchange, the European Outdoor Group, VF Corporation, what did they ever do? And H&M, you might have heard of them before. They will be talking about the incoming legislation. Go slightly further beyond there, and you will get to the Tech Hub, which I am not allowed to call Big Boys Toys. It's lots of testing equipment that are used by the fabric developers and designers to see the strength. They have a special feature in at the moment that calculates the amount of fiber fragmentation. So the bits that fall off the fabric, how bad fabrics are. Beyond that, on your right-hand side, you see bodywear. Bodywear is a nice, trendy expression. It's what the academics call contour, or next to skin, or base layer, or underwear, if you're from me. Whereas on the left-hand side, you have the innovation zone. The innovation zone just makes it easy to visit because it sums up anything that we thought was particularly different and not seen on the market before. So when you get back to the office, you can say, I saw this. The innovation zone, the best of the innovation zone will actually be on stage last thing today, about 5:30. They will be doing what's called a Petracucha, very short presentations about what they're about, so you can tap into it. It goes on till about 6:15. Remember the bar opens at 6 o'clock, so you can make sure the two things mix. So that is this hall. Next door, we also have the Wool Forum in here as well. There's a growing interest in wool. If you go over to the other hall has things like the Media Lounge, which is the free coffee and waffles. You have the Trend Forum. You have the Circularity Zone, which is the area curated by Accelerating Circularity. If you want to stay up to date with the recycled status, that's where to go. So there are a whole load of things that you can go and see. But if you get bored, come back here and join in the talks. We're always very welcoming to you. The talks officially kick off at 9:30. We've got the head judge who's going to give a 45-minute overview of what we saw when we saw those 2.5 fabrics, when we had to assess them. It will be followed by various other things. But the theme of this show, we call it the focus topic. So what has been investigating the most is certifications, which ones matter. There will be a keynote on the subject at 11:30, and at 11:40, we have a panel of very wise people who will really delve into the subject for an hour. Chances are they're going to tear the keynote apart, because the keynote is done by a guy with an English accent who's on the stage at the moment. These are people that I'm continually learning from. There are presentations throughout the day, but as I said right at the start, all of these are recorded so you can play them back in the office because they're streaming. They'll be uploaded in about 2 weeks' time. Whilst you're here, there are 588 stands to visit. We do not expect you to see them all. The easy way to sort through them is to use the app. The app is the most up-to-date thing on timing and shows you where everybody is. But I have now spoken for far too long. I am filling until I see Alexa, which I have still not seen. Alexa is giving the keynote at 9:30. So in 4 minutes' time, Alexa, if you can hear me, it'd be really nice to have you open your presentation shortly. The person you will see on stage next is Alexa. Alexa has been our head judge for 16 years. She is the one who curates the Trend Forum, which is the most popular thing at the show. So I'm going to disappear. Alexa will come on stage, and there will be moving graphics, and there will be interesting things, rather than me droning on. If you need to speak to me about anything, catch me off stage.